Hey guys, we are on board a Seawind 1160 Lite. We've been aboard for a few days now. We are actually chartering this boat, and we wanted to do this because our opinions of this boat have changed since we previously did a boat tour video of it.
So we toured this boat last Annapolis Boat Show 2019, and we were a little bit harsh on it. We've since gone back. We actually looked at it again at the Miami Boat Show. We didn't do a video. And we just went in with a little bit more of an open mind. And given the price point and given all of the design features, we realized that a lot of what we might have criticized before are actually strengths of this boat.
We're fortunate enough to have a viewer named Bob whose Seawind 1160 Lite is in charter in Key West, so he reached out to us and asked us if we'd like to go out sailing on it. So of course we said yes.
We're on a bareboat charter essentially right now. It's just us and the boat, and this is the perfect way to really get to know a boat and to see its strengths and weaknesses, living aboard, cruising aboard it, sailing it. It's just been an awesome experience, but we figured we'd kind of bring you guys a different boat tour, because normally when we do these boat tours they're in a marina somewhere, but we are currently on a mooring in the middle of nowhere east of Key West, and it's just awesome. So this video is going to be a boat tour of this boat right now, and then we're going to follow it up with the full cruising review and sailing vlogs. It's going to be another video or two after this, and you're going to actually see us sailing this boat, so stay tuned for that.
But first, we do want to thank our viewer Bob and Sail Away Key West, who runs the charter for this boat, and all of the information for them will be in the description below.
So if you want to go sail this boat that we're on currently now, you can. Let's get to the tour.
So we normally start out on the deck, so let's head outside.
Turning to starboard, because we're going to start right over here and going that way.
So if you remember our first video of a Seawind 1160 Lite, this is something that kind of bothered me, the lines being on the deck and the stays, but after being on the boat for a few days, I've gotten a little bit more used to it, so I'm going to just go ahead and walk forward.
There's the lines right there. You kind of have to walk on them, and then you have to go under this stay, so you kind of have to put your hand here and go around it.
So you just want to make sure the lines aren't in use when you're walking forward.
Yeah, but it's really not too bad. So we were critical of the line location and the way that the stays kind of cut into the side deck so much, but being on the boat, it really doesn't cause that much of an issue, and we've realized that there's no other good way to do it. This is the best way possible to do it with this design and this size boat from what we can see, especially with these helm stations being where they are.
Now, when we did the other video, a lot of you jumped on us because we were talking about all of the curves on the front deck, and you're like, that is for structural integrity. You're right, it makes a lot of sense. It does give a lot of strength to the deck. It also provides for better aerodynamics, which is the reason that it is designed this way.
Yep, both aerodynamics and hydrodynamics. So water can flow off very easily, and this boat has the least amount of windage as possible because it does slope down. And when you look at it from the front, you can see how much it comes up, and it provides for a lot less windage, and that makes it sail better, and it makes for less strain on your anchor when you're at anchor, sail less at anchor, just all around better performance with less windage. So that makes sense too.
Up front, you have two smaller trampolines. You can also get some cushions to have some seating up front, and you have a lot of storage.
So we've got a spade anchor storage right there. All of these lockers have storage in them. The windlass is in that one right there. More storage. And more storage. Yeah, we've got our dive gear in that one. So we've got the windlass back here. Chain locker down below.
This is remote or tow push.
And then the last locker up here is the gas locker. It's where the gas tank is for the outboards. So you've got, I believe it's like a 70-gallon or so gas tank, and then got some jerry cans. And this compartment is properly ventilated for gasoline fumes.
So this boat's outfitted right now as a charter, so we have a jib up front and then your mainsail, but you could put on anything you really wanted if it were your boat.
Yeah, we would probably do a code 0 or code D and then a spinnaker as well, just for some light wind performance. One thing I wanted to say is that I'm normally critical of boats that don't have access to the forward locker from the deck. Now this boat does not have that. However, this is only a 38-foot catamaran, and it's one of those things that I don't really think is possible in a boat this size. And there is good access to the forward lockers from down below, so I'm gonna give it a pass for that one.
Since there isn't forward locker access, instead you have a hatch, but actually in the forward berth on each side you have 2 hatches, so that's really awesome for ventilation, and obviously it shows you that the berths are very good size.
Yep, so this is the main berth, this whole area right here. There's a queen size island berth in a 38-foot boat, so that's pretty cool. So here is the rig. We've got a slab reefed main. And then we've got all of the lines running aft. So to the port helm station, we've got the lines for the mainsail, and then to the starboard helm stations, all the lines for the jib and the head sails go there. So pretty good setup. And then we have the self-tacker for the jib, which is very nice, and we can say that from personal experience because we've been sailing this boat the past couple days.
So I will say that people have been a little bit concerned about me freely walking around the boats, and I myself was sketched out a little bit when I got up on the coach roof the other day. So I'm gonna just let Jordan show you how you will go about doing that.
So this is one of the things that I think could possibly be done better on this boat. And I think it comes from one of this boat's strengths. Everything is very curved and slanted, which gives this boat very low windage. But because of that, again, now it's kind of really curved and slanted right here, so it's awkward to get up to the coach roof, and you only have this one little step. So you can imagine in rough seas this would be kind of sketchy getting up here. But the good side to that is every control line, everything goes to the helm station, so 99.9% of the time you're not going to have to come up here when you're sailing. Coming down, again, it's a little sketchy.
Many of you know that Jordan and I had an electric boat. We like the idea of electric sailboats, and this boat has a lot of potential for that. Right now you can see it has 800 watts of solar and still plenty of room to expand that solar. And in a second in the cockpit you'll see outboards that we think would be really cool as electric outboards, but let's just continue with the tour.
Coming down, you can see we've got the Honda generator that we've been using solely to sleep a little bit better at night. Randy is pregnant, so
my status as an incubator makes me a little bit hot.
Yeah, so we've been running the AC a little bit at night, but no big deal. We've got the sugar scoop, pretty nice size sugar scoop. Now on the 1190 it is a foot longer, but this is the 1160.
A small detail that I thought was so awesome yesterday, after we dove, we got up on the sugar scoop, showered off real quick, and then rinsed off all of our gear before it even made its way onto the boat, which was super nice.
Yeah, keeping everything nice and clean, not salty. And then there's the freshwater washdown. And as you can see, the propane tanks are mounted outside as well, and I really like that because you can't get better ventilation than having the propane tank just completely out in the open, so that's very safe. We've got the dinghy on davits, solar panels above it.
A nice rigid arch that's holding up the hard bimini. You've got a grill and 2 seating areas.
And these are great seating areas, by the way, for when you're underway.
Yes. Oh, the view forward is really nice. Jordan will have to show you that. At the port side helm station, you have all of the engine controls as well as your autopilot controls. Your GPS is inside. You actually have control of the windlass here too. It's just a great setup overall. You're nice and elevated, have great viewpoints.
Yep, and you've got 2 winches here, and then all of your main sail controls, along with the reef one, the first reef point for your mainsail on this side. Looking to starboard, this entire door completely opens, and you're going to see that in an upcoming video. We're not going to do that during the tour, but you guys will definitely see that because we've been sailing with that completely open, so it's just been awesome.
Now the main difference on the starboard helm station is that you don't have engine controls over here. You just have autopilot and a separate GPS system.
And that's not to say that the engine controls can't be put there. You can definitely do that. You can have redundant controls on each helm station. It's just that this boat currently doesn't have that. You've got your lines for your head sail, so your spinnaker sheet, your jib sheet, your furling lines, all that's right here with 2 big winches. So here's the other sugar scoop. There really isn't any storage in these sugar scoops that you can access from above. And also, there's really not that many compartments or anything really in the cockpit here. There's a couple little things that are access points. So you would think that this might be a storage compartment, but this is actually where your engines are. So these are the outboard engine wells.
It's really awesome that you can lift those engines out of the way. Like right now we're on the mooring ball. There's no reason for it to be sitting in that salt water, so we just lifted it out. All right, and then this is on the port side, your port side engine as well.
Yep. So electric tilt, they go up and down, and I think this would be awesome to do with electric outboards. I think that's it. Randy, you ready to take them inside?
Yeah, let's head in.
So we just got into the main saloon. We're running the generator because, as you can see outside, the sun's going down, and this is kind of what we've been doing, just running the generator for a couple hours before we go to sleep. Makes it, yeah, it gets rid of the humidity, makes it, you know, a little bit cooler in here, and then it makes it nice and comfortable to sleep.
All right, so obviously when you come in from the cockpit, you have this big settee seating area. This table, the first time we toured it, was turned the other way. It took us a second to realize you could actually turn the table, give yourself some walking space here. And also when you set this up for a berth, this, it looks like, is the position you use to lower it.
Yeah, so this folds down. And I honestly like it in this configuration better because you've got all this area, as you can see where Randy is, to kind of walk around. And it's a nice little area.
You also have a nice deep storage compartment up here as well.
Here are our electronics, and again, the window right here comes out and that flips forward like that. So this is kind of like an extension of the helm station a little bit, turning back to starboard. So this is going to be kind of an in-depth tour, so we're going to be opening up a lot of stuff. Now what do we have down below here, Randy?
So under the settee on the starboard side, you have a freezer compartment.
So I just moved that cushion, and there's the freezer and then some storage behind it that's not currently being occupied. Behind this area, we've got, there's the air conditioner and ducting for the AC.
Moving to port.
Looks like here we've got some equipment controls down here, and I think the water tank is right there. That's the water tank. Under all that, we've got 2 large AGM batteries for the house and 1 small starter battery. And under this right here, this looks like it's some kind of isolation transformer or like a secondary breaker box. I'm sure Bob will let me know what this is after he's done watching this tour of his boat. And behind this, there's nothing.
We've basically taken a look at everything up here, so we're gonna go ahead and head down to the starboard hull.
This is a galley down vessel.
Yes. So in the galley, it's a galley style galley, nice long and narrow. So we have a propane cooktop and oven. We've got tons of storage, like a pantry over here and down below, as well as some storage on both sides of this refrigerator. So we've stored some water in here for the trip.
So these are dual refrigerators, and then there's another front opening refrigerator, which we've got lots of food that we've been eating.
On.
And then dry storage all up here. Again, there's food that we brought, stuff that was here for the charters. This big compartment right here is pretty good for all your dishes and stuff. And you got another one down here. So definitely lots of storage. Then there's 3 more big cabinets underneath the sink, so you get the picture. This was something that we were critical of. What do you think about it now?
I don't mind it as much now that I've used it, because I've been down here doing dishes and stuff. You do have this nice big port right here. You have an opening port here if you want to get a breeze, which is nice. And then I actually liked being able to pass Jordan stuff from the settees up there.
Yeah, so even though it is a galley down, it is a very well-designed galley down.
Yeah, I think because it's open here, it feels more inclusive.
And we've really thought about this layout, and especially being aboard here for so long. I don't think you could do a galley up in this size boat and it'd be you know,
not super cramped.
Yeah, not super cramped and as functional as this one currently is. So I think this is the best design for the space that's available.
All right, moving forward, we have the first berth that we're going to show you. It's a good queen size berth. You've got a hatch right above your head.
You got some storage down here. And then
additional storage.
More storage right there, and then more storage right here. This is a great cabin, and this is not even the owner's cabin.
No, this isn't the owner's cabin, but it does have a head inside this cabin, which is nice. So I'll let you go ahead and tour that.
So this is the wet head for the starboard side. So it is a wet head, so the shower is included. This pulls out, that's your shower. But it is a good size head. Now let's walk into it. And then this is the access to the bow locker. So there's your bow locker. And then you've got a crash bulkhead up forward, watertight bulkhead. And then this is your black tank for this hull. Cabinet for storage. And more storage down there. Shower drain in the floor. And that's it, looking aft.
All right, farther back or to the aft, there is another cabin. We've got a bunch of stuff stored in there, so we're gonna shuffle and then show you that cabin as well.
Yeah, let's go do the shuffle. So this is post shuffle. This is a double berth, not quite a queen, but you can fit 2 people in here comfortably. And then got a little bench, a little storage down below. And if I turn around, behind the door, we've got a small little hanging locker right there. One of the things I'm curious about is what's under this bed. I believe you have the diesel model of this boat. That's where one of the diesels is, so let's take a look at that. So I flipped that back. Looks like there's storage. Some more paper towels and stuff. Paper towels are like gold right now. I can't find them anywhere in the store. Then under the berth, we have got a very, very large storage area. So this would be where the diesel goes. I think in an electric boat, like maybe what we want, we might put batteries here, or at least it's one of the places we could put batteries. But right now they're just using it as a big storage area. Turning aft.
So now we're gonna go back up and over to the port side. Pretty sunset.
That's what it's all about, guys. Look at that. Very pretty.
All right, so down in the port side, again, you're kind of still connected to the settee area when you enter, so it's nice to have that kind of flow. You have a desk, nav station area down here. A little seat, I like the little seat. So you have all your electronic controls, you have miscellaneous storage, but this is a great place for like paperwork and things like that, as well as your traditional chart table kind of setup. And then a bunch of electronic type things.
More storage.
Yes, oh, there is actually a lot of storage here. I shouldn't just say that this is electronics.
So we've got some tools and stuff down here.
Ditch bag, super important.
Safety gear.
And then lots of storage on this side, which
And then
is nice.
4 big cabinets on this side, yeah. So you get the point. Lots of storage.
Just so you guys can kind of get an idea of what's under the floorboards, Jordan's going to go ahead and lift this one.
So there we go. There's the bilge pump on this side. And this is the mini keel version. This is not the daggerboard version. We'd be interested in the daggerboard version. Good size compartment down there.
Yes. All right, moving forward, we have the island berth we were talking about. So it's a queen size island berth, super comfortable. It's pretty tall, I would say.
Yeah, getting in and out isn't necessarily the most graceful thing, but
The first night when we were done sleeping, I got to the end and hopped off, and it was a little further than I thought it was.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, all right.
but it's very comfortable and it's very much preferable to a V berth. And then down below, more storage. So forward of the berth, we've got some shelving right there, and then that right there is access to the forward bow locker, and that is actually going to be our hanging locker for this berth. As you can see, they've got some Fowley gear in there, but this is going to be the hanging locker for this berth. And then I just moved some of our crap because I think that, yep, there is a little bit of storage under these little seats. So even looking aft, there's a tiny step right next to the berth, and there's a little bit of storage right there too. So there is a lot of storage in this boat, you know, for the size that it is. They kind of put it in every little space possible.
Yes. So moving aft, we have the head on the owner's side.
And this is the owner's head. It is a full head with a separate shower, and we've been very well utilizing this setup. We've taken a few showers already, definitely used the head. It's a good layout, so very functional. Got some storage above the head right there. Looking aft, going into the shower. You can hear the generator, but this is a very large aft compartment behind the shower. There's your black tank for this hull. So looking forward, we've got our sink. Got another window. Very beautiful sky out there right now. Looking down, we've got more storage here and there. One thing we quickly noticed while we've been aboard is all of these doors have magnets on them. So if you put them open, they stay like that.
That's been really awesome, actually.
Alright guys, so as always at the end of these videos, I do a full, complete below decks walkthrough, and right now we're starting in the owner's cabin. That is the port forward section of the boat. So here is all of our crap, and there is the hanging locker in the forward port section of the boat. Looking aft, we've got our queen island berth. Looking more aft, going aft, we've got our office area, kind of. We've got our nav station there, some storage over here, a little bit of storage right here. Got our full owner's head with a separate shower. Looking to starboard, we've got the main saloon with Randy for scale. You can see how big it is, and headroom is good in most of the areas. I'm almost 6 feet, and I've got a few inches above my head going down. Looking forward, we've got our galley. Turning aft real quick, we've got our double berth and a little cabin back here. Looking forward again, going through the galley. Lots of cold storage, lots of dry storage. We've got our queen berth over here. More storage down below, and full wet head in the bow. So Randy, what do you think about the layout of this boat now that we have a little more experience with it?
I am not as against the galley down. That was really my only issue with it the first time we toured it. It does have a really nice owner's side. It has multiple berths that you could use for other people or storage, as we were obviously using the one as. So it's a good layout. It's definitely functional, and I think that's the biggest point, is that this boat is trying to be functional.
Yeah, I think that this boat does a 38-foot performance cruising cat the best that it could possibly be done. This boat is relatively affordable when you look at other catamarans, and I mean, I think for the money, this boat has the most value per dollar that I've ever seen in a new catamaran.
Yes. Something we did also highlight at the boat show, but I want to just mention again here, is the craftsmanship of these Seawinds is really excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, this one, I want to say the owner said he got it in 2017. So this is a few years old, and it's been part of a charter, and it still looks incredible.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time charter boats are beat up after a couple of years. This boat still looks new. There's so many good things to say about this boat. I mean, we like it, you know, we really do. And keep in mind, we're going to be going more in depth after we put out the vlogs of our sailing the actual boat. We're going to do a little bit of a sailing and cruising review after that and give our impressions on that. But, you know, this has just been kind of the layout as she sits right now and what we think about it. And kind of the fact that we were wrong about this boat. we
were a little too critical the first time we saw it, and I think a lot of that has to do with touring it at a boat show. We weren't the only ones on the boat, and it was kind of rushed for that reason.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that is is we toured Grace, okay? We toured the boat named Grace at the Annapolis Boat Show last year. It turns out that Greg and Jennifer they're the ones that run the charter company in Key West. They live aboard Grace. Grace is their boat.
Yes.
and we've met them and we've talked to them and everything, and they're like, yeah, the boat that you toured that you didn't really like, that was our boat. And we're like, whoops.
No, they were very good about it though, because they know exactly why we made the comments that we made, and they were able to tell us, you know, some of the design aspects that went into the curves of the deck, why the stays are where they are. So it was good to get to talk to them. So if you're interested in chartering a boat down in Key West, make sure to talk to Jennifer and Greg down at Sail Away Key West.
Their information is going to be in the description below.
As always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like and a comment down below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button to follow along with our journey, and the notification bell if you want to know each and every time we upload a video.
See you guys, and be sure to stay tuned for us actually sailing this boat. It's not something we do that often, actually going out and sailing. So
some of you miss it. So.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, and you're going to get all our thoughts on how she actually sails after or during those videos.
I've got it right and I got it wrong, but I learned my lesson hanging on. Come sit here with me by the fire and